if you were born with the purpose, that then means you have potential. So everybody has purpose and potential. And in order for me to be able to live out my purpose and then meet my potential, I have to have gifts to be able to do that. What up, y'all? Welcome back to Practice, the podcast where we fuse research and culture to help you develop the mindset, habits, and skills that you need in order to live out your purpose with confidence. I'm your host, Dr. Rees. And when I say I'm excited, I'm extremely excited to be back in this thing with y'all. Well, so without further ado, let's get it popping. Let's grow.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Practices are meant to be competitive. They're meant to be competitive. If your practices aren't more competitive than the games themselves, you're doing the wrong thing.
Yo, today we're about to break down the purpose equation. Now, I'm gonna say that again. We're about to break down the purpose equation. And you may be asking, all right, Dr. Rees, what's the purpose equation? Well, the purpose equation is essentially the formula that's going to help you know two things. Know what your purpose is, or let me go backwards. Discover your purpose, because a lot of people may not know, and then help you know your purpose, and then help you live out your purpose. So that's three different aspects, right? Because there's having an understanding and discovering something, and then there's knowing what it is, having that cognitive understanding, and then there's the ability to actually act that joint out. So we're going to walk through what's the formula, what's the steps, what's the equation to helping us figure this out. But then the next 4 episodes of this podcast are going to really focus on the 4 different aspects of the purpose equation. All right. So I hope that you all are doing amazing. I hope that you are enjoying your new year. I hope that your, whether it's resolutions or goals or missions or whatever is in alignment, that it's rocking out, that you're staying disciplined, that you're being consistent. And I feel like this episode and these next 4 episodes, the whole show is going to give you exactly what you need. But I really feel and hope that these next 4 are going to be something that's going to ground you in, if you haven't established these already, or established your mission and your vision and your purpose and understanding what that is, that these next 4 episodes will help you do that. Not just because it's the new year and you want to be a new you, or you like the old you, right? Like, I'm not trying to change you. I want to help you transform. But the mission of this podcast, my mission, all of that is to help you live out your purpose with confidence. And so none of that changes. And so that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to rock out today. So here's the quote that we're going to anchor ourselves in today. Purpose is your greatest asset. I'm going to say that again. Purpose is your greatest asset. Now, the reason why I believe purpose is your greatest asset is because it's the ultimate gift that has been given to us, right? Like, we didn't ask for purpose. We don't necessarily have to seek purpose, right? Like, we don't have to seek to go get it because it's already within us. And it's the greatest asset because it connects us to people. It connects us to profit. It gives us a feeling of energy and fulfillment. It connects us to potential. Like, it's a gift. Like, purpose is our greatest gift that's been given to us for us to leverage to do amazing things with our lives. And I love it. And I'm literally am so passionate about helping people discover their purpose, because I believe that purpose is the point. I believe that purpose is not just the why, but it's the why I get started and the why I finish. Even if I feel like I got to rest in the middle, even if I feel like I got to take a quick step back, right? Not necessarily quit, but sometimes maybe quit for a minute to catch my breath again. But regardless, because I have purpose, I'm going to keep going. And so I hope again that this podcast gives you some energy and revigorates your desire to start living out your purpose, continue to live out your purpose, get back on your purpose, whatever that may be. So let's get into this a little bit more. I want to anchor us now that we understand that purpose is our greatest asset. But again, we're going to take a step back and say, okay, purpose is our greatest asset, and there's an equation to living it out. Like, Dr. Rees, how did you even fumble upon this, right? And purpose is a word that folks throw around often. A lot, especially I would say in my line of work, purpose and potential and passion, the 3 Ps that everybody, right? It's true, but I can see how it can get cliche. And the reason why I created the purpose equation is because there's a lot of cliche around what purpose might be. I know there's folks that, anchor your purpose in your why, but that still may not really help you out. And that's what this is for, is like, I'm really trying to give you that real life game on like, okay, I know it's the why. That's cool. But how? I got the why, but how? You know what I'm saying? So this equation is the how when it comes to purpose. And so I have something that I believe called purpose privilege. And this is something that I feel like I discovered over the years. Like, I got purpose privilege, and not necessarily, and everybody has different types of privileges. But the reason why I say I have purpose privilege is not because my purpose is greater than yours or anybody else's, but because I had the ability to discover and believe that I had a purpose from an early age. And the reason being is because of my mom. She instilled in me the belief, the thought, like the confidence that I have a purpose. But one thing I felt like was missing was the how. Not necessarily how to do it, because for her it was like, follow God and go from there. Like, which is great. I appreciate that, but that's still only partial of the equation, right? Not this specific equation if you're not a believer, but it's only part of it. And so for me, I was like, how do I legitimately teach folks how to discover what their purpose is and know that they're living it out? So as a purpose and confidence scientist, I've dedicated my life and work to trying to figure this out. And I believe I have it here. So when I think about it, purpose comes down to 4 different aspects. And these are overarching aspects, okay? Number 1, mission and vision clarity. I cannot live out my purpose if I don't have a mission and vision, but clarity over those. Now, you can argue with this in whatever direction, where sometimes you just may not have the mission written down. But oftentimes when somebody is intentionally living out or seeking to live out or living a specific life, they have a mission. When they're on purpose, when you're on purpose, you have a mission and you have a vision of where you're going. And the clarity is, I know that my steps are ordered. I know the direction that I'm going. And this doesn't mean that you have it all figured out. It just means I may have a vision of the future. I have a vision for my future. I have a vision for what I want to do with my life, but I don't know all the steps. I don't know all the people that's going to be here to help me figure it out. I don't know all the bumps in the road, but I know where I'm going. I'm very clear on my direction. So when you're thinking about you and your purpose, 2 questions. Do you know what your mission is? And do you have clarity when it comes to your vision? Do you know where you're going? I want you to think about that. And the reason why I want you to think about it is because your mission and your vision put together is the why you start and the why you finish. My mission and my vision put together when it comes to my purpose is why I start and why I finish. Right? Because there's going to be days that you're going to get up that you're just like, and that's okay, right? That's a part of being human, which we 100% invite here, right, in the you-ish community. But in that though, my vision is why I finish, because I have a vision that I have my eyes set on. My vision has not fully come to fruition, and that's why I keep going. My mission is a part of the start. That's a part of the why. So when you're thinking about these 2 words, when you're thinking about what's the mission for my life, what's the mission that my purpose has me on, that's the why. That's the why I get started, right? So for me, my mission, my personal life mission, is to instill the right to confidence into other people like yourself with passion, love, repetition, and relationship. The passion, I hope, comes out in how I'm communicating, right? That's the passion. Love is, I just want to be somebody who loves folks, right? And who loves life and is an example of that. So passion, love, repetition. The repetition is through podcasts, through speaking, through keynotes, through workshops, through TikTok, through Instagram, through lunch, through dinner, through all these different aspects. That's the repetition. Being consistent and being in faces, right? And then the next part, relationship. I just love people and I want to be with people and I want to see people not just happy, but I don't want to see nobody sad, but I'm willing to be there with you while you're sad. Like, I'm pro relationship and I want to see people living out their purpose. There's literally no other way I could say it. And so for me, that's my why I get started. And that's also the why I finish, because the vision that I have is to see other people living out their purpose confidently. Oh my gosh, thinking about it gives me goosebumps, but puts a smile on my face. And so that's my why I get started, in the finish piece for me, and why I finish. Why I finish. Why I finish. So when you think about yourself, and you might have days where you're like, man, I don't want to get started, think about why you want to finish, and then just get started. And this isn't no positive, obviously, thinking, but it's more so like, okay, get started with your routine, get started with your consistency, get started with whatever it is. And then eventually you'll start to cultivate the energy that you need to finish. So now, even though I have a vision, a massive vision for what you-ish will bring to the lives of millions of people across the world, I have that vision. Today, without today, that vision won't happen. So this is the middle of the mission and the vision, the start and the finish. I'm in the middle. I might still be at the beginning. I think I'm at the beginning still. So when you're doing this process of trying to discover your purpose, know your purpose, live out your purpose, trying to discover and figure out your mission, cultivating a vision, you have to know that it's going to be a cycle. It's a cycle, it's a system, it's a thought process, it's a journey, and the journey is the destination. All of that, it's a marathon, all those amazing things, okay? So the first aspect of your purpose and the purpose equation is having mission and vision clarity. I'm going to urge you, challenge you, push you, encourage you to figure those two out. And sometimes when we say figure it out, sometimes it sounds kind of like just figure it out. That's not the kind of figure it out I mean. I mean, grow in love with the process of trying to discover, what is my mission? What's the vision that I have for my life? What's the vision that's been put on my life so I can impact the world in a way that not only brings the world and others joy, but that brings me joy? Okay. Now, like I said, our next 4 episodes are going to break down these aspects. So I'm going to hop off of this before I just start giving you all the mission and vision, and then I ain't going to have no episode for the next one. But that's number 1. Number 2, curiosity. Now, curiosity is amazing because curiosity there's almost 2 sides to the curiosity coin. That's fun. There are 2 sides to the curiosity coin. I'm gonna thread that later. One side is folks are like, don't be too curious, because if you're too curious, then there's no structure in curiosity. There's the lack of systems, and then that's just frivolously chasing passions. I saw a Etsy commercial, and I thought it was a really good commercial, and it talked about your passions, and it talked about how people always say these things about, don't follow your passions because passions don't pay, and da-da-da. And obviously Etsy is like a place for people who are passionate about certain things, and usually the arts and crafts. And so you put your passion on Etsy, you're going to get paid, right? And I think that there's those 2 sides where you have the folks who don't see the value behind your curiosity. They don't see how you being curious is attached to you living out your purpose, and how that's going to eventually lead to you impacting people and making a profit. So on this side of the curiosity coin, I 100% want to influence, encourage, and motivate you to be able to stay curious. That's the key here. Stay curious, because curiosity did not kill the cat. I don't know what hater said that. I'm dropping bars today. Drake, holla at your girl. Curiosity didn't kill the cat. Curiosity did not kill the cat. Curiosity invigorated the cat. I'm going to say that again. Curiosity did not kill the cat. Curiosity invigorated the cat. Think about this. I don't know a whole lot about cats. I'm a dog kind of chick. But cats have 9 lives. How dope is that for you to have 9 lives and then have the term curiosity attached to your being? That's filthy. If I had 9 lives, do you know what I would do with those 9 lives? I already have 3 other lives planned. And that's just 4 total. Like, and I already feel like I've lived out 4 or 5 lives in my 33 years of living. That's because I've been curious. And I 100% feel that I'm anchored in my purpose purely because I'm curious and I love it and it feels good. And I want to encourage you to be curious. Stay curious. And so what does that really mean in this? And what's its relation to purpose is you're not going to just wake up and be like, all right, I found my purpose. Like it doesn't just automatically happen. And for some people it might, I don't know everybody's life, but for majority of folks, you're not just waking up and finding your purpose. Oftentimes you ain't going to school and finding your purpose because a lot of systems like the school system ain't really trying to pump you up to live that joint out because school wasn't created to cultivate curiosity. Now there's systems and programs that are trying to do that more, but when it was first created, that wasn't really, a part of it, which is why it's so hard for a lot of folks to promote and back people being curious because often it seems kind of frivolous, like a leaf blowing in the wind. But my argument here is you are filled with so many different things, and curiosity drives creativity. Curiosity drives community, right? It's going to allow you to do so many different things that without it, I believe you won't be able to find yourself in your purpose, because if you just land on one thing, what about all the other options that may have really been the thing, right? That thing for you. And so the reason why I think curiosity invigorates the cat is because it either is going to excite you and you'll be like, oh shoot, I like this joint. Or you'll be like, this ain't it. And you need to know that. So curiosity is doing the research on who you are. Curiosity is a self-awareness exercise. Curiosity is a self-exploration exercise that is vital to you being able to live out your purpose. Okay, let me hop off of that because episode 37 is all about curiosity, okay? And again, I'm just giving a brief overview of these 4 aspects so that way you understand what makes up the purpose equation. Now, the third aspect that makes up the purpose equation is this: gifts AI. Now, you might be thinking, oh, what is this, artificial intelligence? No, that's absolutely not what I'm thinking. Gifts AI is gifts, awareness, and investment. Gifts, awareness, and investment. Gifts awareness is you have been the same way you were born with the purpose also means you were born with gifts. So I'll say it this way. I firmly believe that if you were born with the purpose, that then means you have potential. So everybody has purpose and potential. And in order for me to be able to live out my purpose and then meet my potential, I have to have gifts to be able to do that. Now, just because you were born with gifts does not mean that you automatically know what they are and then how to live them out. So gifts awareness is me doing some self-awareness, self-exploration that's fueled by curiosity that allows me to discover what my gifts are. Once I know what those gifts are, now I have to invest in those gifts. That's the action piece, right? Now that I'm investing in my gifts, that's how you go from being a jack of all trades to an expert, right? A jack of all trades to an expert. And that joint right there is invaluable. So the reason why having gifts AI is key to your purpose is because if I'm not using my gifts, I'm not living out my purpose. If I'm not using my gifts, I'm not living out my purpose. A part of my purpose is to activate my gifts in order to positively impact others and myself. When I'm living out my gifts, there's so much joy and energy and excitement and optimism and hope. Organic energy is what I like to call it, that's activated through my body, that is going to positively impact other people. I don't care what your gift is. It could be fixing cars. It could be being a lawyer, a speaker, an actor, a cook. It don't matter. A garbage person, whatever it is, whatever your job is, whatever your gift is, whatever your talent is, to lead, to speak, to encourage, to prophesy, whatever. It is going to have a positive impact on somebody else and yourself. Your gifts are the gifts that keep on giving. Your gifts, it's a two-way street. I love it because in me even doing this right now and speaking life into you, life is being spoken into me simply because I'm activating and using my gift of speech. I got to fall back. So here's what I'm going to say to you on that one. Put your curiosity to work to become an expert at your gift. Put your curiosity to work, which is the awareness about your gifts, about what are the things you love and like to do that then you can invest in. So that way you can not only do them, you can do them. You're an expert at doing them. Want to know why? Because experts get paid. That's the difference between going from a jack of all trades to an expert. And purpose is connected to profit. And when you have, I'm not going to go super far here, but when you got profit, you can do more things, not just for yourself, but for other people. So you need to be able to be an expert in your field so you can make a profit, so you can impact the masses. Okay, so the last point here, high psychological capital. Now you might be thinking, what, how, what? This is how and this is what. Psychological capital has 4 different aspects. Okay, real quick. Hope, optimism, self-efficacy and confidence, and then resilience. When I tell you that living out your purpose is one of the hardest things to do, you are going to need a high psychological capital to do so. You are going to need hope on a daily basis. I hope every day. I have to hope. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a solopreneur, right? And I hope that the efforts and the energy and the seeds that I'm sowing on a daily basis are going to reap a harvest of my vision. That's a hope. All I have is actions of sowing seed, and then I hope. And when I wake up every day, I start and I hope and I start and I hope. And that's the entrepreneurship journey, is starting and hoping, right? To finish, to see that vision. And so you have to have hope, because without hope, people perish. Without hope, it's like, for what? Without hope, you give up. And if you don't have hope, then what is the point? So the next aspect of psychological capital is optimism. That's being an optimist. It's so funny. My parents are optimists. If you know my parents and you shook your head, and they're optimists. Like, my mom was the biggest optimist. I never seen her be pessimistic in a day in my life. And she was so optimistic. It just was a word to describe her. And my mom had been through so much in life, and I didn't learn all of it until after she passed. So being able to look in retrospect, I'm like, yo, she persevered with the optimistic spirit her whole life. How amazing is that? And then I look at my dad, who has been through major and still goes through major, and dude is just optimistic as can be. And so for me, I've had models of folks who have endured difficulties yet stayed optimistic about themselves, about their future, about other people, about humanity. So to me, that's been one of the best examples that I can have. And so I'm an optimistic person, I think, by DNA and by intention. My brain is wired in this direction. And so you can wire your brain in this direction. You can wire your brain to be more optimistic than pessimistic. And the reason why this is important, not just for entrepreneurs, because every single person has a purpose, whether you have a W-2 job or you're an entrepreneur. That's not what this is about. But especially if you're waking up and going to a job that you do and don't like every day, right? Or if you're in the grind, in the glut, in the hustle of trying to develop something, you need to remain optimistic. If you're one of the only fill in the blank marginalized folks in any space, you have to remain optimistic about the work that you're doing, because if you're passionate about it, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. And so having optimism is the thing that's going to give you the energy you need to say, okay, I know it's going to be better. I'm going to see the glass, cliche-ish, half full versus half empty, right? So optimism is about your perspective. The next piece is self-efficacy and confidence. And that, we'll stick on self-efficacy real quick. instead of the confidence aspect. But self-efficacy is my belief in knowing that I can endure difficult things. Do you believe that you have the ability to endure difficult things and still persevere and not give up and come out on the other side? Do you believe that? If you don't have that belief, then you're not going to be able to win the battle of living out your purpose on a daily basis with confidence, because that confidence is the self-efficacy. Now, the last part is the resilience. The resilience is that, and I'm going to take you full circle. This is why it's the start and the finish, is because you have the resilience. How amazing is that? Because you have the resilience in your mind, you know that I'm going to wake up and I have my why I get started, and I have my why I finish, and I have the energy and the efficacy and the resilience in me to fight my way all the way through. So these are the 4 aspects of living out your purpose. And the reason why they are is because you need a mission and vision to have your clear start and your clear why you're trying to finish, right? Your vision is ever expanding, but it's the place you're trying to get to and live in at the same time. The next piece of the curiosity is the engine that drives you while you're doing this. It's the thing that keeps you invigorated to figure out how many more gifts do I have inside of me, and then how many more gifts can I activate, and how many more things and how many more people can I bring in. And also, I'm not that good at that, so I need to bring somebody else into the fold so they can execute their gifts in my ecosystem and vice versa. And I can be somebody who adds value when we can do this together. Now I'm living my gifts, they're living their gifts at the same time. Now you have the next piece is my gifts AI. I'm aware of all of this and I invest. I'm aware and invest, and I create spaces for other people to do the same thing. So curiosity and gifts AI go hand in hand. And then our next piece is I have the hope, I have the optimism, I have the self-efficacy and resilience that I need in my mind to not shut down, to not permanently quit, to not walk away, to not give up, to not lose hope, to endure, to persevere, to come out on the other side or still be in and be like, I got this. So that's it. So the next time that somebody says, well, how do I live out my purpose? What does that even mean? You got to show them this video. And you got to show them the next 4, because in the next 4 episodes, I'm going to break down each aspect that much more. But it's really important that we understand that when you are trying to live out your purpose, when you are trying to re-identify if I'm in it, how do I know? All of that, right? Go from the know, the cognitively, the discovery to the know cognitively to the living it out. You got to check those 4 areas. Okay. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to capitalize on the newness of this year, not to just promote new year, new you, but new year, new energy. There's a new energy that's around at the beginning of the year. I want you to leverage that. And so then I want you to think now, I want to have the same excitement and energy whenever. So we're going to capitalize new year, new energy. Then we're going to take it into whenever energy. That in June, I'm this pumped. That in March, I'm this pumped. That in November, I'm this pumped, right? That in September, I'm this pumped. It don't, whatever day of the year, I've got this energy and excitement to be able to live out my purpose, right? And the next thing I need you to do is leverage your greatest asset. Leverage your purpose. Investing in your purpose is investing in you, and it's also investing in other people. And it's got a limitless ROI that you deserve. And not only deserve, that you was born to be able to capitalize on. And I'm so pumped and so excited for you. So my ask is this. Number 1, if this impacted you, blessed you, gave you some excitement, some encouragement, can you let me know? Can you comment on it? Can you send me a DM, text me, call me? I don't know, something, but let me know that this message in some way, shape, or form empowered you. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to write down just some information. Go back and listen to this, or go out and listen to other folks talk on the comment on this topic, so you can get, some more information around all of this. And then 2, 3, I want to know, what does you living out your purpose look like? And I'll say it this way too as well. is I said it at the top. I said, I have purpose privilege, but the reason that I'm doing this and I'm a purpose and confidence scientist is to figure out how can other people get that same purpose privilege. Not that our purpose is better than anybody else's, but that they have the knowledge and knowing what it is and how to live it out, and the ability to live it out on a daily basis gives you purpose privilege. And your privilege is in your ability to leverage it and do it and encourage somebody else to do the exact same thing. So, man, I'm excited. I'm grateful for you. I'm honored. Now the thing is, I got to ask you to do a couple things, because this is what, like, I have to give you another call to action to help grow this podcast. So if you liked it, if you loved it, if you hated it, still share it. Like it, share it, subscribe, all those other things, because this is my way of giving back and making sure everybody has access to the juice that's inside of me. And if you liked it, you got to share it with somebody. If you liked it, you got to hit the like. If you like, you got to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. So please do all of those things. I truly appreciate you. Please reach out if you ever have any questions, if you want to work through this, if you want to bring me to your space to do a workshop or anything like that on this topic, or a keynote or something. But at the end of the day, I want you to remember a couple things. I want you to remember that you are the bag and you are worthy of living out your purpose with confidence. I'm your host, Dr. Rees. Peace.